going to work on adding and subtracting rational numbers. The first thing we have to think about before we add or subtract rational numbers is, do they have a common denominator? That's obviously the easiest way to add rational. Because if we look at our first example, 2/5 plus 4/5, we can take any rectangle, split it into 5 squares, and shade in 2 of them to represent 2/5. Similarly, we can take the same rectangle and shade in 4 sections to indicate 4/5. In order to add them, we can just start dragging them from one rectangle to another rectangle. Oh, I'm out of space. I need another rectangle. And if I look at that, I have a total of 6 rectangles. So now I can actually just count up the rectangles I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for a total of 6/5. And if I look at that, I could have gotten that answer by simply adding the 2 numerators together. So look at this example here. I have 4/5 subtract 2/5, and I've separated this same rectangle into fifths again. I've got 4 shaded sections for the 4/5. So if I take away 2 of those fifths, I'm left with 2/5. And again, it's pretty straightforward how to come up with that answer. I just had to subtract the numerators. So to add and subtract rational numbers with a common denominator, I need to add or subtract the numerators and keep the denominator. Now look at these examples here then. Again, I need to keep the denominator, which is a 5, and I'm just going to combine the 2 numerators in a new numerator. So I have -2 plus 4, and my rules for adding integers tell me that when they have this opposite sign, I subtract the numbers, so 4 take away 2 is 2, and I keep the sign on the larger digit, which is the 4, so it's positive, and I have to keep the denominator. If I look at part D, again, the denominator is the same, keep the denominator, and combine the numbers in the numerator. Okay, I'm keeping the denominator, and I look at my 2 numbers in the numerator, and they both have the same sign, which tells me when I combine numbers with the same sign, I add them up. 2 plus 4 is 6, and I keep the sign. If I have a look at this one, I have 2 fractions, 4/5 plus 1/3, but the denominators are not the same. Now 4/5, we've already drawn that a few times. We know that's 4 shaded sections in 5. And if I take the same size shape and split it into 3 and shade 1 section, I can have a third. Now the first fraction was fifths, and the second one was thirds. So if I take each of my fifths and split it into 3, I end up with 15 sections. But 12 of them are shaded. Now if I take my 1/3 and I split each rectangle up into 5 sections, I've also got 15 sections again. So, but now 5 of them are shaded. Now using the rules we've already talked about for adding rational numbers, we know we just have to add the numerators and keep the denominator because, of course, the numerator and the 2 denominators are the same. So the answer here ends up being 17/15. Now in tomorrow's class, we're going to talk more about how to do that without drawing rectangles, because obviously that's going to take too much time for what we want to be doing. In the meantime, I need you to work on page 6 in your workbook, question 1. See you tomorrow.